Hi guys, welcome back to the Self series. So I've noticed that a lot of people have sent me DMs asking me, how did you gain this confidence throughout the years? How do you speak publicly so confidently in front of others and make friends so easily? So today I'm going to be sharing my tips and tricks and how I've gained this confidence throughout the years. Now, first things first, of course I'm going to be repeating the same information, which is cut off that toxic friend. You know why? Because they keep repeating that same negative affirmation that you don't want to hear every single day in your head. Now your mind believes that information. You might even get triggered by whatever they're telling you. For example, I remember I had that toxic friend that would usually call me ugly as a joke, and every single day she keeps repeating the same information into my head until eventually I started believing that I'm ugly. And over the years I started believing that I'm ugly, and the same information kept repeating until it got stuck in my head, and I started believing that, oh, me as Noran, oh, I'm ugly. So once I cut that toxic friend off, I started rewiring my brain. I started putting notes in my closet that says, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. And whenever I wake up, I would always read it, and I would repeat in my head, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, every single day until I memorized every inch of that word. I rewired my brain and I cut that toxicity off because I did not like it. I'm not ugly, and neither are you. You need to believe that. Also, why are you guys okay with your friend telling you that you're ugly, or joking with you in things that you know are not a joke and telling you negative things about you? Why are you guys okay with that? That's not okay. You should draw a boundary at that. That isn't a joke. That is not funny. You should not laugh about it. You should not encourage this behavior. That is extremely toxic. Because imagine your inner child, how they feel. How that young child, your younger self, when they were told that they're ugly when they were a child, how would they feel? Because every time you don't say no to that person, you say no to yourself. So I stopped doing that. I stopped encouraging this behavior. I've had my fair share of toxic friends and being belittled, humiliated, treated in a very, very humiliating way. And I would like to share my knowledge on how friendship should look like, and who to choose to be your friend and who you shouldn't be friends with. Starting off with competitive friends. I've had this girl that was always competing with me, that would always compare herself to me, like, oh, I'm better than you in this, oh, I'm prettier than you, oh, I'm this, I'm that. Like, girl, it doesn't have to be like that. You shouldn't compete with your friend and feel like you have to prove something in the friendship to prove that you're worthy of something or that you're a worthy human being. No, that's not how friendship should look like. Absolutely not. Friendship should be something that is very nice. I feel comfortable with you. I feel comfortable telling you my trauma. I feel comfortable that I want to keep a secret with you. If I have to change the way I act, speak, and shrink myself just to make you feel comfortable in your own body, then this friendship can go to hell. I don't need it. That's how you guys should think. You shouldn't be changing yourself just to make someone feel comfortable in their own skin, just because you're triggering them. That shouldn't be your responsibility. That should be their responsibility. Number two, I need you to focus on your reaction. What's your traumatic reaction to things? Do you laugh when you're nervous or when you're getting attacked? Do you smile? Do you cry? Do you get angry and start cussing? You should focus and make sure to not repeat the same exact mistake. Now, one thing I did is that I noticed that whenever I got insulted by that friend, my first reaction was to laugh, which is not funny because I encouraged that behavior out of her. I shouldn't have encouraged that. So what I did was, whenever someone says something very insulting to me, I would always notice and be like, okay, so right now I'm going to laugh. I know in my head that my first reaction is to laugh. And so I would stop myself immediately and be like, no, react differently, do some different reaction. So what I used to do is I started yelling out of nowhere, which is fine because you know that those are only the beginnings. You will start yelling and then you will reduce it. By time you will start reducing that dose and start balancing it. But you need to understand that you're not weird for like starting to yell randomly. No, it's actually your nervous system telling you that, okay, hey, I'm threatened, I feel like I'm in danger. It's your subconscious mind trying to protect you. And so you go into this fit of, I'll start yelling, and then after a while, once you get used to it, you're going to have to start reducing the dose a little bit, and that's what I did. So I stopped yelling and I started using my brain during arguments. For example, I used to get scammed so much by Uber drivers. They would increase my fee by £50, £100 sometimes, because I used to be so quiet. I used to not argue and just give the money because I was like, oh my god, what if he gets mad? What if he starts yelling at me? Okay, what if he does start yelling at you? You start yelling back. That's what happens. Whatever people do to you, you do back. If that person starts yelling at you, you start yelling back. If that person puts their hand on you, you put your hand back. You never let people get away with that behavior at all. Do not accept it. That's unacceptable. Moreover, based on my knowledge back then, because I thought that, I was ugly, I started comparing myself to my friend. And I was like, oh, she's prettier than me, I'm ugly, I'm nothing. So I started changing this inner monologue and stopped comparing myself. I was like, every time I caught myself comparing myself to someone, I would be like, no, I am my own person. They are their own person. I don't need to compare myself. I am worthy of anything I want, and I don't need to compare myself to that person. They're their own person. I'm my own person. And I'm beautiful just the way that I am. I don't need to do all that. Just because in my childhood, or in your childhood, by the way, when I talk about childhood, do not take it in, do not think that for a minute that I am shitting on my parents or like telling people like, oh, I'm a victim. No. I'm giving you information like this because maybe the same thing is happening to you, or the same thing happened to you in your childhood. That's all. I love my mom and I love my dad. They did amazing. They did the best they could, and their best is enough. I love them. Now I need you to see yourself as your own child. Imagine you give birth to that child and they go through the same thing you're going through right now. Imagine your child has that same friend that you have right now, and that friend is treating your child like that. How would you react? If your answer is that you're going to beat that person up, or you're not going to be okay with what they did, then why should you be okay with what they did to you? Why should I be okay with what they did to me? If I'm not okay with my child being treated that way, why should I be okay with them treating me that way? No, that's not happening. That's disrespectful. I'm not standing for that. That is unacceptable. You should not say yes. You should not encourage that behavior. You should not laugh. I know for some people that it is a traumatic reaction, but you need to see a therapist for that. If you cannot control it, if you truly cannot control it, no matter how hard you tried, you need to see a therapist, because now that's just something that you need to heal first. But if you can't control it, stop and snap out of it and stand up for yourself. Now let me show you the consequences of not standing up for yourself. You see that? You see this dolphin? Like, it's so cute and beautiful. I hit it once. It didn't do anything, It's still as pretty as is. It didn't do anything to me. So I'll just hit it again. It came back again. I'll hit it third, fourth, fifth. Since I keep beating this dolphin up and it still gets up and doesn't do anything, you know what I'll do? I'll just throw it off the edge. I'll just throw it. Oh my god, that dolphin started screaming. Oh my god, they're crazy. I don't know what happened to them. They didn't say anything from the beginning. That's what will happen. They will make you out to be the crazy person. Now notice this. What if I beat this dolphin up and then it comes back and it hits me in the head? I will be very careful not to hit this dolphin. You know why? Because I'm gonna get hit back. Now this is what I want you guys to do. I want you to hit back. Stand up for yourself. Whether it be physical or mental, emotional, verbal, whatever, just speak up for yourself like you would speak up for your own child. Now I want you to also set weekly challenges for yourself. That's what I used to do. Like when I went into university, and me and my friend, we would always set weekly challenges for each other. Like for example, I'm a business major, so I usually have presentations, and back then I didn't know how to present, so I would always get scared. So what I would do is I would challenge myself. Okay, I will memorize this whole last sentence, and I would say during my presentation, I will not forget it. I don't care about the rest of the presentation. I just focus on this sentence specifically, and I say it. Next week I would memorize the whole presentation and just say it, all of it. The week after it, I would focus on the presentation and my presentation skills, like my body language with the things I memorized, and I would combine them together. And the week after it, I would focus on my tone of voice, my presentation skills, and the things I've memorized, and combine all three together. And so I started becoming more and more confident in the way I'm presenting. And I started doing not daily, but like weekly presentations, and I was very okay with it. The anxiety went away, I stopped shaking, and yeah, it helped a lot, not gonna lie. So I think you guys should do it. Study yourself. I need you to study yourself. I need you to know what trauma you have that is affecting you so deeply. Like for example, when I started studying myself, I did not know that, okay, the childhood traumas that I had involves the wound of rejection. I did not know that because I did not have any memory of me, getting rejected when I was a child. And so I was watching like a podcast for Dr. Gabor Mate, and in the podcast, he was telling us about how he asked his mom about his birth story. So I thought I would do that, and I went to my mom and started asking her, okay, what was your mental health like when you were pregnant with me? How did you behave, and how did you give birth to me? Was it a traumatic birth or was it a normal birth? And what she told me shocked me because it explains a lot, I was born when I was 7 months old. I'm a premature baby. I wasn't born in my normal delivery time. And due to that happening, I developed a wound of rejection, and it was so deep. We as children, we need to stay in our mother's womb till we're 9 months old, and then the mom gives birth, So I was born out at 7 months old, and when I was born, my mom had a really traumatic birth. She had multiple pregnancy poisonings. She was very stressed. Her stress hormones were very high. Her mental health, she was depressed. She literally had a lot of mental traumas because of this pregnancy, and it affected me as a baby. And so my mom's womb has rejected me. And when my mom gave birth to me, I was a really, really small child. I was like, I think about this small. And that is a typical sign for people who have a deep rejection wound. I also developed an abandonment wound because, as a baby, a premature baby born, I had a lot of illnesses. I would get sick very easily, and so my parents had to pay attention to me 24/7, and they were very overprotective of me. And so my siblings, they would not allow my siblings to come near me. And so that made me feel rejected even more, because whenever my siblings come to play with me, my parents would yell at them because they don't want me to get hurt, because I was a very, very sick child at that time. And so my siblings started getting scared of me and started playing with my older sister and treating her like a princess and stuff. And so I was just alone as a child. Learning that, it helped me a lot, because I did not know, that affected my mental health to this point. And my mom also told me when she was pregnant with me and she was on the verge of having an abortion with me, because I gave her pregnancy poisoning and she was about to, pass away because of me. So the doctor told my mom that they need to save her life, because the mother is more important than the baby. And I heard that when I was a very, very small child. And so growing up, I felt like everybody's more important than me, and that specifically my mom is more important than I am. And so learning that, it just helped me, reflect and understand why I'm feeling this type of way. After discovering this, even though I was shocked and I was very hurt, I started taking myself out on solo dates, because I wanted to spend time with myself. I wanted to get to know myself, what I liked, what I disliked, what are my negotiables, what are my non-negotiables, who do I want in my life, who do I not want in my life. And based on that, I got to know myself even more. I got to understand that, I love cartoon movies. I love a lot of different things that people my age do not even like. I discovered that I loved reading books, even though as a child I hated reading books so much. That was my journey with how I developed my confidence. Most of it stemmed from learning about my childhood, definitely. And last but not least, fix your shrimp posture. What is wrong with your posture? What's that? You look like this. You look like this. Do you guys not see yourselves? Fix your posture. It would make you feel more confident, and it was scientifically proven. You know why? Because having a good posture can lower your cortisol levels, and it can increase feelings of feeling confident. Because your posture sends signals to your brain. Your brain constantly reads your body and sees whether you are safe or threatened. Having a slouched position, it means that you feel threatened. If you put your shoulders back, you will feel more confident, you feel more dominant. It will give you a feeling of strength and control. Okay, I'm going to end this video here. I hope you enjoyed this video and it helped you a lot. I hope you took your notes, and wait for my next video. Please like and subscribe and share, and bye!